What's made the difference for me was being adventurous, heaven knows I'm that, and also being willing to just push myself a little bit further and having support. Three women approached me about joining the Women's Forum in '74. They were women I admired, women who were really doing things for other women and successful in their own careers as well. And they said, Nancy, you know who we are. That's the kind of organization it's going to be, and that's the kind of people you'll be associating with. Your kind of people, Nancy, come on board. And they were my kind, and I said, absolutely. At that time, I was in an unusual position for a black woman. I was at Chase Manhattan Bank. I was, in fact, the first black woman to be an officer in the history of the bank. My role at Chase was in charge of all executive and all MBA recruiting for the bank. So a very special career position with a very special organization. I really loved my time at Chase. And then at Johnson & Johnson, where I had 25 great years, I was the first woman of any race to be a vice president. Being the first of anything has its pluses, I guess. Certainly has its minuses. But that's why you want to be very careful about where you go and what role you take on. And I was lucky. Chase had a great job and lots of interaction at various levels in the bank. And at Johnson & Johnson, I couldn't ask for better. I had graduated from Boston University. And then I went on to, graduate school in Pittsburgh, the School of Public and International Affairs. And the Urban League had a fellowship program, and they picked up the tab for me to go to grad school. And so, and in return, I was required to work for the National Urban League. While there, I created a program taking a look at African American students and how they viewed banking in careers, published a survey on that, and that's how I was asked to speak at the American Bankers Association annual meeting. Met some people who said, Nancy, why don't you come to Chase? I'm very inclusive. No matter what level of person on my staff, I always involve them. I'm a great believer in giving more and more responsibility to everyone, and I'm always on the search for talent. So therefore, that means that I'm willing to take a risk with people. I'm willing to give them something that's a stretch for them, and we know it's a stretch, but my job is to ensure that they not only take the stretch, but that I provide the support they need to succeed. And that's really part of one of the areas that I'm most proud of. New members of the forum, in reflecting whether or not they are firsts, as women like myself were firsts, they're first in different areas. They're first in different ways. The women today may be first in terms of the breadth of their responsibility. So they may have the same titles, but they're more likely to have a much broader range of responsibilities. And so that might also prompt them to want to be members of the forum, because they can discuss with people like myself what the role was like then, but then they can also educate us on what it is today. And so in that sense, they are firsts also.